In the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as is in the heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation. For thy is the kingdom, the power, and glory forever and ever. Amen. Great. Well, welcome everyone. My name is Brooke Overturf. I am the Director of Annual Giving and Alumni Relations for St. Michael Indian School. And this is our third virtual college readiness panel for our high school students. And I'm very excited to be having the University of New Mexico and Navajo Technical University joining us to speak to our students and parents, because a lot of our students are first generation students, or they're just kind of beginning their journey on what's the best college for them and just knowing more about programs. And I'm glad to see some familiar students that have joined us ever since the first virtual college readiness panel. So it's pretty awesome to see our students come along this journey with us. So I myself graduated from St. Michael Indian School as well in 2013. And later on in this event, you'll hear from another SMIS alum and hear her story and her experience in college and what in her journey into getting into law school. So as always, we'll go ahead and close out the event with a Q&A. So if you have students and parents, if you guys have questions for any of the college reps or the SMIS alum that will be speaking, you can hold off to those questions till the very end. And then you guys are more than welcome to ask your questions then. And then of course, at the end of the event, maybe tomorrow or Friday, I'll go ahead and send a recap and any links or information that the colleges share with us. I'll be sure to send that out to the parents. And if I don't have your email, feel free to send me your email through the chat, and then I'll of course send you that information. So so let's go ahead and get started. I'll go ahead and have NTU go ahead and present first, and then UNM will follow right after, and then we'll go ahead and hear from the SMIS alum. So we have Brenda from NTU, and she'll be go ahead and speaking to our students. So take it away, Brenda.
Hi.
Hi.
Good evening. Yate, I'm Brenda Yazi with Navajo Technical University, and we do have 5 campuses, one in Crown Point, Chinle, Zuni, Tisnazbus, and Kirtland right now. So, so my clan is Salt Clan, born for Tiring House. So I just wanted to do that introduction. I just wanted to thank St. Michael's Indian School for making us part of this college panel. So I really appreciate that. But we're here in Crown Point, and Navajo Technical University is our very own university. We're here to help any student that's willing to take the time, whether it's a new student, a returning student, a student that's returning from a university for whatever reason. We're here. We do have right now, because of the pandemic, our classes are hybrid, or not only hybrid, but online. So we had to make a lot of changes this time of year to accommodate our students. We've had permission from the Navajo Nation to extend internet services. We also provide computers, laptops, hotspots, gas cards, whatever our students need to accommodate them to access the online services that we offer now. So that's what we're doing now. We offer, if you need a laptop, if you need a hotspot, you come to the IT department and we loan out those for the semester. And then we also, if for instance, if you're living out in St. Michael's or Chinle, or if you're near one of our campuses in Chinle and you lived out in Ganado or out in Pinon, and you needed to drive to the Chinle campus to use the Wi-Fi, we have we do provide gas cards for the students. So through surveys, we have been conducting surveys on a consistent basis to see what our students need out there while we're doing the hybrid and the online. There's a lot of changes that have happened within our communities, but for Navajo Technical University, we do have residential services. We have a lot of student services to accommodate student needs. We do have residential services. Right now, we're limited in how many students we can take, but we do have students that are one room per person per room, and that's to eliminate any type of concern or issues. We do follow the CDC guidelines. Anytime anybody's coming into campus, their temperature is taken. They got to have an ID and it has to be NTU related. We do have family housing and we do have transportation. There is a limit of number of students that can participate in the transportation. For instance, we go out as far as we go out to Window Rock on a daily basis. We go out to Shiprock, Farmington, Gallup. We have two transportation provided to Gallup area, Window Rock, Fort Defiance, Shiprock, and Farmington. So for an example, if we had a student that had classes on Mondays and Wednesdays, which is a normal college schedule, Monday and Wednesday, Tuesday and Thursday, and then you would have all your classes completed if you were doing the transportation and going home every day. At that point, now with what's happening with the pandemic, you would be in a safe environment right there by going back home every day if you feel like that's what's going to work for you. If that's the best thing that you want right now in this situation, you would have classes on Monday and Wednesday and Tuesday and Thursday, and you'd have a 3-day weekend every weekend. I'm sure your parents, your grandparents, or whoever is close by, as first generation students, you can come to NTU, do your general education, or get started on a bachelor's degree for 1 to 2 years to get an associate's degree. And then by that time, when you're independent, more mature, and you realize, you know what, I'm ready now to go out into a bigger university, you'll have that opportunity right here in your own community. And like I said, if you had transportation, we would provide that for you to where you would be going home every day, and you'd have that 3-day weekend to spend time with your family and still help out at home if that's what you're doing now. If you're at home helping your parents, your grandparents, this is a great place for you to be. You'd be taking classes Monday to Thursday, and you'd have a 3-day weekend every week. And the advantage of being on campus every day, all day, is you get to take advantage of the tutoring, the library, the Wi-Fi. If you have any questions with your faculty members, you have questions on assignments, we have mentoring, we have the cafeteria. Everything here is provided for you so that you'll be completing all your assignments on time. You'll be on top of it. You'll get all the help you need on Monday to Thursday, locally, within your own community, here in the Navajo Nation, and going home every day. To me, that's safe. If there's a concern about your parents or your grandparents sending you off because, you're not ready for leaving the community, start here at Navajo Technical University. We're here to provide the services that the student need to succeed. And this is your very own university here to help you. So I'm Brenda Yazzie, I'm the recruiter. You can go to our website at www.navotech.edu, and I'm going to put my information on the chat line. So I'm not sure how much time I have. I think it was 10 minutes, but that's what I want to share. So come to our website. Everything you need is on there. Like I said, on the chat line, I'll put my information, my phone number, my email address, and our website address, so you'll be able to reach out to us. So thank you very much.
Great, thank you, Brenda. That's all great information. You're actually our first local community college. Our Technical University that has spoken to our students. So we're very grateful for that, because for our graduating class of 2020, we did notice some students did stay local, like Dene College. But of course, there's other options other than Dene College. So that's why I wanted to reach out to NTU and invite you to speak to our students. So again, thank you so much. That's great information. So yeah, so like what Brenda said, she'll leave her information in the chat. If you don't happen to grab it, I'll of course send a follow-up email with her information and UNM's information as well too. So I'll go ahead and toss it over to Josiah from UNM.
Awesome. Great. Hello, everyone. While I start sharing my screen, my name is Josiah Martinez. I am a student recruitment specialist, obviously here at UNM. I did attend UNM as well, so I kind of know what it's like to be a student on our campus, as well as I did attend from out of state, so I kind of know how it is to uproot and go to a different place, as well as I was a first generation student. So when we get to Q&A, if you guys have any questions on that, I can help you with those things. So I have a presentation here, and I'll kind of just go through a few things really quickly. So here at UNM, or I'm sorry, here at UNM, we're so connected to the state of New Mexico, with Albuquerque being right in the middle. I know that you guys are a little bit close to Gallup, so UNM Gallup is a little bit separate from us. They're our branch campus. They're basically like a community college, a two-year institution. And if you do end up going there, you could always transfer directly over to UNM main campus. But just know that basically UNM main campus is the four-year institution that offers bachelor's degrees, which are four-year degrees and higher. So we're very connected to our state. Albuquerque is home to the International Hot Air Balloon Fiesta, which is really fun. Unfortunately, it is canceled this year due to COVID, but usually in normal times, that actually runs perfectly with our fall break. So usually we get 2 days off in October from classes, and it falls perfectly with Balloon Fiesta, and you get to go and don't have to worry about going to class after. Albuquerque offers really cool things such as the Sandia Tramway, Old Town, the Bosque, and then other places around New Mexico, very large array, Tent Rocks, Jemez Hot Springs, Blue Hole. Those are just within maybe 2 to 3 hour drives. Maybe some places are even an hour, since Albuquerque is right in the middle of the state. So as far as degree programs, we have over 200 different degree programs here at UNM. They're under subject areas of arts and humanities, business and policy, health sciences, science, technology, and engineering, and teaching and learning. So basically, a lot of the programs that people are looking for are like biology, psychology, communications, journalism. Those are going to be under your College of Arts and Sciences. That's a very huge college that we have on campus. If you guys don't know what colleges means, because I didn't know what that meant when I was going into the college, it's basically like departments that oversee the majors. So a lot of the colleges on here are pretty self-explanatory in the majors that they have, such as nursing, pharmacy, medicine, engineering, etc. So yeah, we have tons of different options here. So basically anything that you want to study, we probably do have. And then we do have our medical campus with our medical school. Those share, so our health sciences basically all share a university hospital on campus. So the nursing students are doing their clinicals there. School of Medicine, they can do their residency there if they want to as well. So it works out very well. For a full list of our degrees, you can go to degrees.unm.edu, and it'll also show, so if you type in a degree that you want, it's going to show you information on it, such as possible income salary that you would receive with that degree in certain jobs, job possibilities, as well, post-grad degree programs that you can do with that bachelor's degree. And then it also does show the plan of the four-year track of graduation. So all the classes that you're going to be needing in order to graduate with that specific degree. We are a Research One University, also known as R1 University, which basically means that any field that you want to go into, that you want to study, we probably have research going on in it, or there is an opportunity for it. So research isn't required at UNM to graduate or anything, but it's a really cool opportunity It helps you to dive into a different aspect of the program that you're in. So a lot of our research is medicine-based as well. So through our medical school and our health sciences campus, there's been research with COVID-19 that's going on, cures for cancer. So what I mean, psychology, the sociology and departments, those also have research going on. So tons of opportunities there. On the screen, you can see the number of researchers, so students that are researching on campus in conjunction with their degree, and then active projects that we have going on as well. As far as on-campus housing, so you would be coming from a little bit farther away. So normally we have a housing for the first year you have to live on, that's a requirement. So basically, for your first year, you would have to get the meal plan and live in at least one of our apartment suite or traditional style housing options. This is a really good opportunity. Students that live on campus their first year, they tend to get higher GPAs because they're closer to all of the resources that our campus has to offer. And you will also only have maybe a 5 to 10 minute walk to class, and you don't have to worry about commuting or driving and fighting the Albuquerque traffic. One thing that I will mention for our students of the Navajo Nation, you actually get a very good discount on one of our housing options that's actually the newest housing that we have. It's called Lobo Rainforest. It's in downtown Albuquerque. So just about a mile from campus, and there is a shuttle that goes to and from main campus to the housing complex, so you don't have to worry about driving. But basically, if you can provide your CIB to the housing department, we can give you a reduced rate to live at Lobo Rainforest. So the traditional styles, that's like 2 people per room, a community bathroom for the floor. A suite style, you might get your own room, you might share a room, and you get a bathroom that's only shared with a few people. And then the apartment style, you get your own room, in some cases your own bathroom, or just a bathroom shared with one other person. With Lobo Rainforest, it's kind of a mix. So it's an apartment, so you get your own room, your own bathroom, but you're only sharing that apartment with one person. So that's something that's really nice that you guys would be able to utilize if you're part of that community. You can see the different housing options at housing.unm.edu. As far as Lobo Athletics, so being at a university, supporting your college on college game days is a really awesome experience. And here at UNM, as a student, you actually get in free to all Lobo home games. So our football games, our basketball games at the pit, which the pit is really well known for collegiate sports, you're able to just go. I think right now they're emailing those tickets to students, and you just download them and show them at the door, so you don't have to pay anything. I'll switch gears a little bit into the cost of attendance, and then I'll go into scholarships and everything to help supplement this. Technically, you guys are non-residents, but I would look on the resident side for a couple different reasons. So you can kind of ignore the non-res and just look at the resident. So for the tuition and fees, that's for a full-time student at UNM, 15 to 18 credit hours, so full-time. And then the room and board, that would be for living on campus. It's a big number, but it includes a lot, I'll tell you. So that's 10 months of living on campus. Your meal plan, the meal plan is 24/7 access. So the dining hall is open for most of the day, but when that's not open, we have a to-go area that's open all night long. So say you get hungry at 2 in the morning when you're studying, you can go and grab food to go, which is really nice. And it's all included. When you live on campus, you get free printing, which is amazing when you're in school. And then you also get your laundry included, so you don't have to like put in quarters or anything. You get free use of the laundry facilities at the residence halls. Books and supplies, that's an estimated number. So depending on where you buy your books and supplies from, transportation. So if you're living on campus, you wouldn't necessarily have to commute to school, but maybe if you're commuting from home and back just on weekends or on holidays, maybe that's like at about an estimated amount. And then any miscellaneous costs that you might have during your time in college. So doctor's appointments, anything that comes up, maybe you want to go to a concert with your friends. We kind of just factor that in a little bit. So I can go into the scholarships a little bit. So before I go into these that are on your screen, so if you have a CIB, you actually qualify for in-state tuition automatically. So if you have a CIB, you get really easy access to just looking at just that resident side for and what you'd be paying. If you do not, I can go through these scholarships really quickly. And that's for if you're out of state already. So obviously if you're on the New Mexico side and you live within our state lines, you would already qualify for in-state, but if you are out of state and you can provide your CIB, you're automatically getting that in-state tuition. We do offer the Regent scholarships. You guys could also apply to this. I will say that we're changing our scholarships a little bit, so this is gonna look different in a couple weeks, but some stuff is not necessarily changing. So you're gonna wanna look at the GPAs with these and ignore the ACT or SAT, and I'll get to that in a moment. So with the Regent scholarship, we still recommend that you take an ACT or SAT if you have access to do it, and if you're looking to apply to the Regents, and if you can qualify with that that GPA, that's a full ride scholarship to UNM, including both of your room and board and tuition and fees for 4 years. And then for being an Arizona student, what you'll qualify for is the Amigo scholarship. This is again, if you are not able to provide a CIB, you can get in-state tuition this way by getting the Amigo scholarship. 3.0 GPA, no test score required, no scholarship application as well. The Regents did have a scholarship application, the rest of these don't. So Amigo, you would not have to fill out a scholarship application. You'd automatically qualify if you have that GPA. And then you would get a $200 cash value, so $100 each semester. The way these scholarships work, so like the $16,000, you're not necessarily getting that in money. You're getting that in out-of-state tuition fee waiver. So you're only paying in-state tuition. Colorado reciprocal, we could ignore. WUI and LUI plus, so depending on, so the GPAs are about the same. We would normally differentiate that with the ACT or SAT. So whichever deciding factors, that hasn't been decided yet, that we go for as far as to kind of supplement that ACT or SAT, we will look at that and the 3.0 GPA. The WUI and LUI plus is about the same as Amigo. You'll get full in-state tuition. The WUI and LUI, not the plus, you'll actually be able to pay about in-state and a half. So you're paying a little bit more than in-staters, but not nearly as much as out-of-state. And then a scholarship in a way that everyone qualifies for, no matter in-state, out-of-state, whatever. If you graduate in 4 years or less, your last semester, you would not have to pay your tuition. So that's going to save you a good amount of money. And you'll be sure that you receive your degree in 4 years, which is really nice. So as far as our admission, you could apply at apply.unm.edu, and there's a $25 app fee. But if you apply today or tomorrow and you email me, I'll have my contact information up here in a moment, and just say, hey, I attended one of your sessions. Can you waive my application fee? Include your first and last name as well as your date of birth, and I can go ahead and waive that fee for you. In the application, when you go through it at the end, there will be a pay later option. So select the pay later and then I'll go in and waive it for you. So we are test optional as far as admission. So if you've taken an ACT or SAT or you plan to, you can always submit it to us, but it's not required for admission. What we do require is for you to send in your official high school transcript. And we're going to be looking at your unweighted cumulative GPA and 16 college prep units. You'll be fine with the 16 college prep units. You don't have to worry about those. Your school qualifies for already having that in their curriculum. And then if you take any dual classes, you would just send us that transcript at the end of your senior year with all of those from that you took from that other institution, and we can put on your transcript. So I know we're going to do the Q&A here in a little bit, but you're welcome to take down my information. You can take a picture of the slide or write it down. The phone number that's on there, that is my work cell phone. So you can call me or you could even text me if you want to as well. And I am open to that. The admissions website is posted there and the scholarships website as well. You can take down the scholarship website, but that website's going to look a little different probably starting the 1st of October. So if you want to browse that, I would wait until about just October-ish. That's pretty much all I have on my end as far as UNM.
Great, thank you so much, Josiah. That's great information. We do have a lot of SMIS alumni that went on to UNM and are doing great and amazing things in the medical school. And our guest speaker for the alumni breakfast, Jessica Begay, who's Velma's Begay for students. That's Mrs. Begay's daughter. She went to UNM as well. So, yeah, great things about UNM. Like I think Josiah, I told you, we have our recently graduated senior who will be running cross country for UNM. So yeah, so we're definitely very connected to UNM, and that's going to segue into the next part of this event with our SMIS alum, Cierra Moore. And then I'll go ahead and have her introduce herself, and then you guys can hear about her story at UNM and then her journey into getting into law school. So go ahead, Cierra.
Thank you, Brooke. Good to see you again. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, hi, everybody. As you know, I'm Cierra Moore. I really want to thank Brooke and the rest of SMIS for, inviting me to speak this evening. So I really appreciate it. So let's get down to it. So a little bit about me. So my hometown is in Crystal, New Mexico, which is about 30 minutes from St. Michael's, as you all know. I went to St. Michael's with Brooke as well. We actually graduated the same year, played basketball together and everything. So that was fun. And then once we graduated, I went off to UNM. So I really enjoyed UNM. It was actually, my first choice. There's a lot of diversity there. I really think the community is awesome. And also, just being in Albuquerque, it really felt like home for me. So that's something that I looked for when it came to, looking for colleges and stuff like that. And at UNM, so when I graduated with 2 majors in psychology and criminology. So that's what I primarily focused on. And then I did some volunteer work with Agora Crisis Center, which is also located at UNM. I was a phone call specialist, dealing with a lot of, phone calls ranging from, someone just wanted to talk about their day, or even something as serious as, like a suicide in progress type of thing. And, I've done a few, trainings with Agora. So, applied suicide intervention skills training and then crisis intervention skills training. So I have some background in that. And then once I graduated, I actually took two years off to kind of figure out what it is that I wanted to do with my major, because at that moment I wasn't really sure. However, I've always noticed myself going back to, like community oriented type of, activities and things like that. So once I graduated, I actually, did a lot of jobs, working at gas stations, had a few jobs at the mall, and I even started working for a nonprofit organization called Reader to Reader. So my official title was an outreach coordinator. So I went to about 3 to 4 high schools back home. So St. Michael's was one of them until I was transferred back to Wingate High School, and then Tohatchee High School, and as well as Navajo Pine High School. So I have, developed some pretty close connections with the high school students there, primarily working with, juniors and seniors. So that was really exciting. And then from that, I really realized what it is that I want to do. I was always, finding myself going back to, helping others, bringing communities together and things like that. And then it wasn't until that point when I reconnected with actually an old high school dean from St. Michael's. If you're familiar with him, his name is Ed Hermes. So he actually is a graduate of ASU Law School. So he's a practicing attorney now at a pretty big firm in Phoenix at the moment. So that was a crazy coincidence because, I've always considered law school, even back when I was in high school, maybe even earlier, as crazy as it sounds. And he was, one of the few people who told me that I would make a great lawyer. So, I kind of pondered the idea, and, I really realized that, the practical component and to these laws and, their real life impact on people. And, that's really something that I found myself pushing towards. So before law school, I'll talk a little bit about, my law school journey. So, definitely I had to get a lot of exposure to the legal field. as well as, legal professionals through Mr. Hermes. So that was really exciting. He kind of introduced me to, the field itself, and also, the wide variety of, directions you could go towards. So that was really exciting. And it was, also great to learn that I didn't need, like a specific major in order to get into law school, because, that's how versatile the law is. And I realized that, it's prevalent in our everyday lives, education, sports, the media, everywhere, health. So that's where, my interest started, getting, better and better. So I started the application process about a year prior to my first year of law school. So within that, they do have their separate requirements. You need to have, like a bachelor degree. It could be any type of degree that you want to get, which is a great thing. You definitely have to take a test, which is kind of like, the ACT, but for law school, you have to take the law school admissions test. So that's where I was like, am I doing the right thing? Because I had never taken a test like that, nor have I ever studied that much in a long time. So I took the law school, the test twice. The scores were not that great. So that was kind of a downer. I wasn't sure what to do at that point, because I had heard that law school is, pretty competitive program, especially to get into. So I definitely had to study a lot. I used an online program, kind of set out times that I would study, take practice exams and stuff like that. And then, there's the personal statement component of that. So I did that as well. I actually, reached out to my old high school English teacher, Joan Levitt, which I think a few of you are familiar with her. And, we still keep in touch to this day, which is really great. And from there, with Miss Levitt and then Mr. Hermes, I learned about a program that for pre-law students. So the summer before my first semester of law school, I got accepted into a pre-law summer institute, which is a top program for Navajo or Native students and Alaskan Native students who are interested in the law. So basically, 20 to 30 students get accepted each summer. It's kind of, it's basically law school, kind of like fast paced. So, I took law school courses, made even greater connections with professionals in the legal field. They had a lot of, guest speakers, which range from, federal judges to tribal attorneys, you name it. They knew everybody. So that was really exciting. So, the most important thing is, I got a feel for law school. I got a feel for, the cold calls, which I'll kind of get into that a little bit later. And then, getting a feel for public speaking, which is something that I wasn't really, good at until law school. So yeah, in that program, sorry, my earphones keep falling out. So in that program, I participated in a moot court, which is basically to argue in front of a judge or in front of a panel of actual judges. You get a problem, you have to analyze it, come up with your arguments, and basically advocate for your client. So that's something that I did. I ended up receiving an award for the top grade in legal writing, made even greater connections, but most importantly, it's where I realized the need for Native lawyers, especially when it comes to matters on Indian affairs. So here's a little bit of statistics for you. So in the legal field itself, 88% of lawyers are white, and most of them are male. However, when it comes to Native students getting accepted into a JD program, we only make up less than 1%. So, that's very, very, very small in comparison to, everything else. And, I realized, we need Native voices speaking on Native issues. So from there, through that program, connections were made. I did pretty well, on my exams. And that's when I got accepted into ASU Law School, or rather, Sandra Day O'Connor College of Law. And I went that fall, which is actually last year. So yeah, right now I'm in my second year, and kind of looking back on it, I think, you know, some advice that I would give to you is just really trust others when they say you're good at something, because that's something that I kind of, you know, looked away at, like, are you sure? But, you know, just definitely take their word for it. And then looking beyond grades, you know, realize it's important, but, you know, definitely do not use that as like a measurement of success or self-worth. And that's kind of where I realize in law school now. You know, I'm currently a 2L, which is a second-year law student. You know, I'm a member of the Native American Law Students Association, and I'm also on the executive board for that organization as a representative for the Alliance of Indigenous Peoples at ASU. So I kind of work as a liaison between, you know, the law school community and the ASU undergraduate community. In addition to that, you know, I have experience in mentoring pre-law students. After, you know, a year after PLSI, I went back and became a mentor. So a couple of the incoming first years, I actually mentored them over the summer this past year. In addition to that, you know, I'm a member of the Native American Bar Association for Arizona. I'm preparing to volunteer with the Arizona legal community and, you know, seeking to become a fellow for the Marshall Brennan Moot Court Project for high schoolers. So, you know, based on all of that together, you know, it really, I think, kind of gives you an idea of, you know, I really am community oriented. I'm looking for opportunities to grow as a person, but also, you know, to seek out these opportunities for others. So that's where, you know, my job as a NALSA representative kind of comes into play. And then the Marshall Brennan, you know, for high schoolers who are interested in the law, they do have the opportunity to, you know, actually receive a real world problem and work on it. So that's something that's really exciting. What else is there? Oh, okay. And then I kind of want to talk about, you know, a typical day in law school. So one thing that I will say is that I definitely had to make the change from undergrad, high school, as far as like my study habits once I got into a graduate program. It's a lot different than I had realized. You know, my typical day is Monday through Friday, 8 to 5 p.m., but it's really just classes. So we treat it like a full-time job. So, you know, you wake up at 8, do your readings before class, or, you know, look over your notes before class. You go sit in class, and it depends on how long the classes are, and then after that, you know, do more reading. So, you know, it really is like a full-time job, but when you treat it like that, you definitely, you know, see results. I do read a lot, on average 25 to 35 pages per class. So that's kind of, you know, an idea of what law school looks like. Exams are a lot different. Each of my exams are about 3 to 4 hours long. And then even in class, you know, we have an on-call system, so which is essentially you read before class and it's kind of, you know, up for grabs. The professor can call on whoever he wants to. So yeah, you know, studying is different. It's a lot of work, but definitely making time for, you know, the fun stuff is something that I learned along the way. But yeah, to kind of finish that off, my last word of advice would be to definitely make meaningful connections and reach out when you need it. Because, you know, going into law school, I wasn't very confident about my test scores, you know, at least for ASU law. However, you know, throughout all my experience, networking with people, seeking out opportunities that were, you know, invaluable, whether they were paid or unpaid, and then, you know, going outside of your comfort zone. So things like that, and then asking for help. You know, it does not mean that you are not capable on your own. You know, there's nothing wrong with, you know, asking for help when you need it. But yeah, that's kind of in a recap of, you know, my law school journey from basically starting from high school. So thank you. And if anybody has any questions, I'm more than happy to put my contact information in the chat. If any of you are thinking of law school at this point, definitely reach out to me. I can, you know, put you in touch with some people. But yeah, thank you so much. I don't know how long that was, so apologize if I went over, Brooke.
It's okay, no worries. Thank you so much, and of course it's always great to see you and catch up with you. So yeah, so thank you guys so much. That is pretty much the rest of the presentation from Sierra, UNM, and NTU. I think For I myself learned a lot about, of course, law school, and then UNM. I didn't know as a native from the reservation that with the CIB you can get a discount. I thought that was really cool. And then with NTU, there being multiple campuses, and I seen that they did the groundbreaking for the Chinle campus. So, and I know a lot of our high school students come not only from just St. Michael's / Windrock area, like that's why we have bus schedules, because we come from different parts of the reservation and even some parts in the Tohatchee area. So, so yeah, it's great to have that information being presented to our students, because like I said, some are first generation students, and then some are just kind of getting their feet wet with trying to find out what's the best program and learning more about college along the way too. So, so with that being said, let's go ahead and start our Q&A. I know we had a couple of parents and students join while Cierra was speaking, but as always, I record every single virtual panel, college panel, and then once the event concludes, and we'll go ahead and post it onto our St. Michael Indian School YouTube. That way, parents, you can view the event that way and hear about UNM and NTU's presentation as well. So yeah, so let's go ahead and open it up for a question. So students or parents, if you guys have any questions, go ahead and just hop on the screen and make sure you unmute yourself. I know there's a couple of times when people start talking and they're still muted. So go ahead and let's go ahead and get these questions answered. I know there's a couple of questions out there. We usually get a couple every event we have. It's just a matter of who wants to go first.
Hello, I'm Joe Carrier. My question is for Josiah. I'm the academic advisor for the juniors and seniors. You mentioned, this is a kind of a logistical fee waiver question. If students were not in attendance tonight, but if they express interest in UNM, would I be able to put them in touch with you for that application fee waiver?
Yeah, so either they could reach out to me directly, or if you want to email me their information, name and date of birth is what I need to do that. So yeah, I'll go and waive those fees for those students.
Thank you.
Great question. Yeah, take advantage of those fee waivers, students. That is one recommendation I would have, because the more applications you submit, that's $20 times what, 4 colleges, that's $100 easily right there. So take advantage of those fee waivers. Another question, anyone? No one has any other questions. I think this is probably the shyest group we've had so far.
Hi, everyone. Hi, Brooke. Great job, everyone. I really enjoyed your presentations. I'm actually sitting here with my daughter. She's a junior this year, and so I appreciate the presentations and information. I think you provided a lot that we would have had questions on, so great job. We just look forward to upcoming presentations, and thank you, Cierra. It's great to see alum and to see the success that, you know, like you had at UNM, which is a, you know, sort of local school, far enough, but not too far. And that hopefully, you know, these younger juniors and seniors this year will eventually get into, you know, what you are doing or Brooke is doing. So it's just inspiring to see that in our alumni. So thank you for participating as well. We don't really have any questions, but I just wanted to commend you on all your presentations. Thank you.
Thanks, Renee. Well, if you guys don't have any questions, but of course, if you guys think of any down the road, jot down their information, their contact info, and you can reach out to them personally or look on their website too, UNM and NTU's, and then you have Sierra's info as well. And of course, I, myself, Mr. Carrier, are great resources too with any other college related questions. So I won't keep you guys here any much longer. Again, thank you so much to the presenters for taking your time out of your days and your evenings and joining us today. I just want to make a quick short announcement. We're having another virtual college readiness panel on October 14th, which is pretty much a month away. And in that panel, we're going to have Dartmouth and Dene College speaking to our students. So parents, if you want to RSVP for your students, you guys have my email. Email me directly with your student's name and grade, and as always, I'll send out the Zoom information. So again, thank you guys so much for joining. I hope everyone stays safe and enjoy the rest of your evening. Bye, everyone.
Thanks, Brooke.
Thanks, Brooke. Thank panelists.